Yo, what's up guys, it's Xrayz and welcome to the top 10 scariest games of all time. Now, in the last episode we covered the top 10 most anticipated games of 2014, and a lot of you guys left a lot of comments with your suggestion. You guys are going to see a few of them on screen right now. Now, if you guys do want to be in the beginning of the next episode, then tell me in the comment section below, what game did you think is the scariest game of all time, the scariest one that you have ever played? Now, with that said, this top 10 is going to be a little bit different. I'm actually going to change it up and do 5 of my picks along with 5 of your own. So it's kind of like 2 top 5s mixed into one giant top 10. Now, with that said, let's jump into my personal list of the top 5 that I really thought were really scary. And I'll start off by going with number 10, which is going to be Turok 2 for the N64. The reason I thought it was so scary was because of just the setting. It was kind of like playing Doom with some weird alien kind of alligator and dinosaur creatures. And the scariest thing ever for me was pretty much the very first beginning, the first level where you would go inside this building and you had little kids screaming for help. I've never experienced something like that back when I was a little kid playing my Nintendo 64, and it was honestly really creepy, and I stopped playing that. The multiplayer was insane though. I really loved the multiplayer, but you know, the actual story scared the crap out of me. Now, that was our number 10 spot, guys. Let's move on now to our number 9 spot, which I thought was an awesome game, number 4 on my list, which is Fatal Frame. Now, this is a really creepy one because you have different ideas within this game. So you're walking around in third person, and you actually have no way of defending yourself against these weird, spirits and demons and creatures, and the only way to do it is using a camera. So you got to get up close and personal with some of these guys, and honestly, it was really, really creepy. Alright, so that was our number 9 spot. Let's move on now to our number 8 spot for me, which is going to be Alan Wake. Now, this game is definitely one of the newer ones that have come out for scary games, and the reason I thought it was so scary is just the idea of, something that you wrote coming to life, something that you wrote in your head that you thought was really creepy, actually coming to life and trying to haunt you and actually affecting your day-to-day life. So, Alan Wake, always kind of creepy, dark setting, and just like these weird spirits that are around you. Now, with that said, let's move on now to our number 7 spot, which is going to be Resident Evil 4 for me. Now, the reason Resident Evil 4 and not Resident Evil 1 was because it was truly the first Resident Evil game that I played that totally scared the crap out of me right at the beginning, man. Even though it was a little bit more action-packed than some of the other Resident Evils, it still had one of the creepiest settings. Swamps, abandoned castles, a village full of people, and then they had like a chainsaw guy with a potato sack on his head. The whole game was creepy, and to me, it was one of the first games that really made it hard for me to try to pass the whole game. So, that's it, guys. That was our number 7 spot. Let's move on now for the last pick for my top 5, which is going to be our number 6 spot, and it is Dead Space. And this one is definitely one of the creepiest ones to date. The reason it's so creepy is that you're in space alone, which we already know space is like a really creepy place when you have like a setting of being alone and abandoned. Just being alone is a creepy thing. And in this one, you're not necessarily alone. You're alone with no allies, but you're surrounded by these weird alien, weird-ass different creatures that just scare the crap out of you. All the lights are off. You got like these limited visibility, which is one of the key things you have in really scary games, and honestly, it was absolutely amazing. I loved it. It was one of the scariest games, if not the scariest games that I've played in my life. But anyways, guys, that was our number 6 spot. That was the top 5 that I picked. Let's move on now to the top 5 that you guys, the viewers, chose. You guys can be a part of this. Just go ahead and tweet at me using the hashtag OGsTop10 and follow me on Twitter so you guys can actually be a part of this. Now, with that said, let's move on now to our number 5 spot, which is going to be Cry of Fear. This is actually I think it's a mod, or like a Half-Life type mod. It's really actually really creepy. You go around around the map with these like weird zombie mutant creatures. I don't exactly know what they are, but they're incredibly creepy. But that was the number 5 spot. Now let's move on to our number 4 spot, which is going to be Outlast. And Outlast is a really creepy one as well. It's kind of, a lot of blood, a lot of really, you could say hostile environment. And the really creepy thing about it is that you have to kind of go around and, use like these night goggles to look around and see stuff. And I thought it was pretty creepy. But let's move on now, guys, to our top 3. Our number 3 spot is going to go to Amnesia. Now, you guys know that Amnesia had to be on this list. It's definitely one of those really creepy ones, because you go around carrying this lamp and you go around and you get like surrounded or followed by these like weird mutations of some kind of creatures or something. But it's definitely one of the most atmospheric games when it comes to being a scary game. It's very atmospheric, and it kind of makes you feel like you're actually within the game with this first-person view. It's definitely one of those games that you completely get engulfed into what you're doing, and it makes it that much scarier. But anyways, guys, let's move on now to our number 2 spot, which is going to be Resident Evil 1. And one of the cool things about this game was that you had like these tank controls, which is you could only kind of turn around in different directions and then walk. So a lot of people said it was, you know, really bad controls, but it kind of added to the atmosphere of Resident Evil. That was our number 2 spot, guys. Let's move on to the number 1 scariest game of all time, and I have to agree, this is the number 1, and it has to be Silent Hill. And I'm gonna go with Silent Hill 1 and 2. The reason that Silent Hill was so scary is because it was definitely one of those games where you did not have as much ammunition as you thought that you needed. And a lot of the times you were kind of scared and kind of running away from monsters as opposed to trying to face them. And just the setting of a foggy, abandoned city, especially when the bells would go off and you were trying to hide. Absolutely scary. I thought it was one of the most, you know, atmospheric, scariest games of all time. And it's definitely number 1 on my list. And I think the number 1 on a lot of you guys. But anyways, guys, hopefully you guys did enjoy this top 10. If you did, make sure to slap a like and a favorite on the video. It does get it out there, helps my channel grow, and it lets me know that you guys are enjoying these top 10s. And of course, if you guys are new and you enjoy this kind of content, then make sure to check out my channel. A link is down in the description below. Check out my channel and subscribe if you guys are new. And of course, let me know, guys, in the comment section below, what did you think is the scariest game of all time, and you might be featured in the beginning of the next episode. But anyways, guys, with that being said, thanks again for watching the video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. And make sure I'm out. Peace.